having a little experiment here and trying to understand how best to do this. Now that I've got the fire, I feel like insulation is important. I might actually look at getting a big board from down there and a board to just block off the two exits and stop trying to heat up basically outside. I've just put in 2 of the spare fireproof boards. I mean, that's ultimately where they're going to end up. There will also have to be a bit of fireboard in there as well. I've just whittled this and it's solid. So if I just make them all like that one, why is the first one going to be the one that's going to be the best? And the rest of them are going to be terrible. I'm going to stick some insulation in here and see what that looks like. Not sure about the insulation just yet, but definitely keep going with the wood. 1, 2, 3. So first, I measure my piece. Also, I've blocked up the hole down there, and I've blocked up the hole down there. And now I'm taking off a fleece because it's too hot by the fire. Now I need to round the corners off like so. So there we go. One corner, one corner. So now I bash it in. That's lovely. And we hit a problem. Carry on with the bashing. And line this up. That's it in. Okay, leave me to it and I'll get it done. Look at the scratch mark. The roof was bowing in like that. So that's a little bit curved, but also putting a bit of pressure back on the roof again. Hopefully the result will be that the roof will feel a lot more solid when you're walking on the top of it. Right there, window, window. There'll be a window there. And there'll be a window up there. Well, the good news is that it's a little bit warmer, so I don't need to put the fire on. I think it's about 12 degrees or so Celsius. What I want to do now is just clean up this corner and paint all the bits that need to be painted. I also want to replumb the water supply to go this way. I have my floor down and I have to now work out how to put the tank into position, and I have to figure out how to strap it down. Degrease all the grease away. So where it was welded, the zinc galvanizing was burnt off, so it's got no rust protection. I'm also going to find any little spot that doesn't have painting, like in here, and just give that a good dollop of rust beater. I hope this will be last time I ever see this. I have these uprights here and their corresponding bolts which keep them in place, and then they will be screwed in there. But when the shower is in, I need the wall of the shower not to be here. I need it to be sort of there, because that's where the shower tray comes to anyway. But I also need to be able to get my arm in here to turn that should I ever need to. I've never needed to, and it's just to remove air from the system. But if in the future I need to be able to tunnel in here past the shower and get to it. So I'm going to change this by getting new bolts, weld them in, so that instead of it being there, this will extend to out there. But first I want to fix this problem. They leak, so I'm going to replace them. Ooh, look at all the junk. Now, just to make sure that I don't get an ankle injury, I'm going to change shoes, because health and safety is something I consider very seriously. Ha! You doing me arse? Now that that's done, let's move this fella. Now that T-connection and the valves are out, I need to cut it here. The reason I'm moving it to here is that there's an inspection hatch, and of course that's going to be the shower unit. So right here at the bottom of the stairs where my foot is, that's where I propose to have all the valves, and that way it'll be easy to inspect at any time. If I had left it where it was, it would have been under the diner and underneath the wastewater tank, which would have made accessibility quite difficult. I got it there, I think. This bit was left over. Thankfully it's long enough to reach up to here. So I bought this, which is hard plastic. This is underground water pipe, as in mains water pipe. And this is the new fitting. So I put an insert and that strengthens it. There's my yoke jig. There's an O-ring up there, and you just screw that down. And it clamps it. And then it's sealed. So now all I have to do is just cut an end off that and attach my hose. And then just do the same thing as I did on the other side. See me when it's finished. Things are a little bit different now. So previously I had a stopper for each tank. Now I just have a stopper for each side of the boat. So I can stop it there and I can stop it there. Everything that comes off this is going to the pump and circulated through the boat. So it's all done. And these are a lot easier to use as well. What I am going to do is I have to figure out a way. What I want to do is I want them to have them like here, just under the floor. I want them off the steel, so I'm going to figure a way of doing that. So this is very high quality marine grease. Oh. The closest thing I can say that this smells to is Vaseline. I would say like, it's not even Vaseline. Vaseline has a much stronger smell. That's 12.5 kgs and I think I got it for £60. This stuff goes on really thick. I may end up having to buy another tin. I have come up with a cunning plan. I'm going to weld a load of these in and tie up my pipe. So I've tied it up, so it's off the deck. So I've greased all of that section. Unbelievably dangerous if you slip on it. Next, I want to treat the wood. Basically, it's indoor or outdoor use because there's no VOC or volatile organic compounds in it. So it's like creosote, but trendy and cool and safe. Doesn't smell. It looks like very watered down milk. No idea what it's made of. The underside and the edges have been sealed. Now I'm just going to do the top. Now I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'll be finished doing that. Well, I'm ready to board this up and insulate it, but first I have to create a conduit for these so that if in a later date I can easily get things threaded in and out. Oh, is that something? Oh, something's come through. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so they're going into the engine room. Okay, well, it worked out a little bit better. I prefer if I had the right size hose. The next time I'll ever have to look in there will be when I'm taking it out. Okay, let's put everything back together. Copper grease. Okay, this time I went through every connection and they're all polished up, so boom! Right, I've just put back my pieces of wood. And now for the insulation. peeing rain outside, which is fine because I'm inside and it's lovely and warm. I have the fire on. I have now completed all my foundation work. There's a bit of wobbliness here, but that's okay because I have these. So I can put them in like that, and then I'll just angle grind that little bit off. And that finishes them off. The reason for the delay on that was just I needed to paint some pieces of rust primer in there, which are all done. This is the last bit of Linda's floor, and I'm going to make it into the wall here. So now I need to weld 6 tabs. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, to put the boards in place. That's where the gauge cluster was. Make some tabs. Ooh. Let's get it into the shower cubicle. This is just a test fitting. Yeah, I can see that being a bit of a health and safety issue. We are getting somewhere. That is the base, which goes there. I just wanted to see what it would look like. So I need a piece of wood that will fit that space. Should find something around here. In the big stack of wood. Shower cubicle is now enclosed. It's attached with these brackets. These brackets attach it to the back wall. That's attached to the framing. The framing is attached with bolts. My beautiful tabs. And more L-shaped brackets. Quite a gap down by the stairs, and this will allow for a more decorative panel, and the inside clad with a waterproof material yet to be decided. I've run out of this type of wood, and very simply I need to make the frame for the window, and I'll just make a frame, but they'll be attached directly to this, so sort of like that and going like that. And once that frame is in, then I can clad the surround, and when I buy the wood I can get more battens similar to this, and we're getting closer to it finished. So naturally the next sequence is to put in the wall there and the wall here, but before I do that I have to get my tank out and I have to secure it to the deck, and then the diner needs to be painted and then put back on top. Now I need to secure this to the boat. I'm going to mark around this board. I had thought originally that I would just put this directly onto the ribs of the boat, and then I thought, no, I'll put a bit of board underneath. So I'm going to cut this out, but it will also act as a template. This is a scrap piece of steel. Do you see the glue on it? Let me show you where that piece of steel came from. So, do you see this groove in the boat? The piece of steel was glued in there to make that flush. Glued in. And then this sheet of steel just went over the whole lot. When I cut this out and recovered all of this and exposed it and painted it, I just pulled the metal off and it was in place. Made a terrible mistake. So, right here, that's the hole. See that little hole? That's the hole where the frame bolts into. So why I never at any point noticed that I'm actually welding, it won't fit. Everything has to move about 2 inches this way. Everything. Oh well. Okay, everything's re-welded and everything's fine. What am I doing now? Oh, put the boards back in, but I have to cut inserts for the boards to fit. Okay, so I got the floorboards back down. That was a bit of an ordeal. There is how I'm going to secure the tank to the ground. And of course, now that the wood is in, you can see the metal tabs. I'm going to take it apart, paint it, and then put it back together again. This bad boy. I think this is ever so slightly changing my life.